Welcome to Colney Talk Podcast.
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Colney Talk Podcast, the bite-sized show. I'm your host Alex, first-time guest, happy to have you here. And to my returning listeners, really glad you're joining me. On this bite-sized show, I talk a bit about the Arsenal game, and then pick out my top 3 Arsenal players who I think were great in the game, and one player I consider the odd one, who just had a poor game or not good enough, who just needs to be called out. Before we continue, happy Mother's Day to all. Hope you all had a good time with your family. And on this game, I tell you, football drama can really be cruel, for real. I don't know how much my heart can take this level of anxiety, and yet we are back here listening to my podcast about an Arsenal game. My, oh my. I mean, not to stretch it any further, Arsenal have quite simply been outstanding. I'm very confident this season will be one to speak about, especially looking back at how things had been, how the team has grown, how we've seen every game in different faces, and this team just stay intact. Been so amazing. They have looked, performed, and learned in different aspects of this game that I'm mighty proud of. What an incredible team this is. Really incredible team. Unchanged in lineup as usual, nothing new. For a high-stakes game such as this, I shouldn't be expecting any change at all. I mean, who's going to come in besides a few of the attackers? But first minute, Arsenal put United under pressure, playing around the box, and then a corner. This kind of gave me that slight sense of, oh, this is how we're going to attack them. Leading to this game, the impression I had was we were going to pound them because they were missing a few of their key players. But as we put them in pressure, we wouldn't let Man U out of their defensive third. Then it was a sprint off for Arsenal's defending. Little did I know this was defending all through past 90. Big chances missed for them. Who cares? I mean, it's Man U, but it's so much that Arsenal had to work for this. Well, they had a bit of a threat and much more. Firing off, getting the chance in the corner, but looking at a huge red wall in our defending, they didn't stand a chance. Not without some worry, though, but this worry stretched all through the game. The bad pass from Rice and Tomiyasu would have cut us out. Again, a series of things coming forward from this game. Thankfully, Raya was on the spot to clear out that threat. The nature of the game was different. It just didn't take long. Granted, it was Old Trafford. Not a lot of winning records by Arsenal, but for this team, there's a complete different script, chapter, outlook of what we expect. And so Man U were playing with what looked like courage and active pass and finesse with them on the ball. And early in the half, they felt very good in how they wanted to dominate and keep us in a certain kind of situation. That causes problems. I mean, said another way, it looked like Arsenal didn't expect that either. We got exposed from an open play, driving down into a box, defending from a corner. Man U's quick passes kept us out of some more rhythm. I mean, it just felt like we hadn't grown to the game, but it's not. It's the way we expect Arsenal to fight, get back into our dominant style of play. But that wasn't coming. Odegaard was not having the best finds of passes to Havertz and Saka. It looked like our shape was primed for Man U to assault us on final pass plays on the right to Saka, and also Odegaard and Partey were most targeted when it came for ball dispossession, and that kind of stretched us out a bit when we had to scramble back and get into some defending, which we did. But in one snappy play, Ben White found Havertz free for him to drive into the box, bring in 4 defenders to him, and that was some fashion of a hold-up play. He waited a little bit for a blindside diagonal run-in for Trossard to come in and smash it for a pullback goal. Boom, 1-0. Yes! Trossard, yes! I mean, again, we thought we were supposed to be smashing more goals in here the way we started out with the pressure, but that was not it. And you know what came next? To the Arsenal, 1-0. To the Arsenal, 1-0. Not style points. Not anything with our finesse and how we impose teams with our passing and threats and keeping them off their rhythm. We had to deal with that, and it wasn't stop. It wasn't style points here. It was just goals. We had one now, so we had to keep going. Then we had our own moment of opening up Man U's press with a good run in the box, but a poor cross from Ben White, and that was a lost chance. And then Arsenal went having a lot of passing lanes for the build-up play. We had to invite the press to open more spaces, and Man U trying to trap us as well felt a bit more cagey for us. But we were so good to absorb and play through it like we normally do. Havertz and Tiger were impressive on that, trying to get forward when we were able to, drive our way out of it. But when we got into the box, we weren't really getting those connections. Back to playing off the ball, Man U were just bombing down the left as their entry point into our box. They did that quite often. While we defended tightly, we didn't clear out danger effectively because they now really pressed hard on us, didn't give us much chances, went through series of intense defending. I mean, we're really good off the ball, but in this nature of the game and at this point in time, that was a different outlook. Then a bit of a scare when defending in the box with screams of penalty when they felt we had caused one, but nothing there. Thankfully, the boys were really alert in the way they were playing defense in the box. We weren't having our crisp passes in this half, none whatsoever. That's our staple way of getting to the game, but we didn't even create any of those, especially to the main players when it's Ben White to Odegaard to Havertz to Saka in that combination of some sort. But we were defending one bad pass and we would run in scrambling, which happened more than once. We got boxed in from the halfway line as Man U played around us. In one play where they had a chance from across, Raya was there to block it and, save us from that threat. I won't lie, we had a tough time. We really did. If you didn't see the scoreline, you'd think we're either one man down or we were just trying to get back into the game, chase a lead or something, or they played like they were trying to, rightfully so, equalize, or we were trying to do something. The amount of press, dispossession, and intercepted passes that we had to deal with, we were not on their levels. And from that, a lot of stress on our defenders. We dealt with that a lot. And that was pretty much the most of the first half. That was it. Second half, Arsenal team were fully aware of how they were being dealt with in terms of their mistakes and limited chances in attack. It was really tight, which was something unexpected from Man U, if I would say so. And they wanted to make sure that when we were out of possession, neither Ben White nor Odegaard were moving with the ball because they kind of understood that's how we would generate our attack informations and how we would build a lot of our plays. But then also, we didn't even create the same kind of combination on the right, with Trossard or Tomiyasu in that form, because we know most of our main plays usually starts from Ben White to Odegaard and Saka. And a lot of crosses from Man U on the left, a tough challenge for Ben White. Oof. He was in for a hot one. We had no presence in the middle. For some weird reason, we had no answers against Man U's blitz. Then again, it was simply numbers 3v2, Partey and Rice defending the 3, or 3v1 being Partey just at the lone pivot in the middle there. So we just had to play in cagey fashions, being cautious, and yet we lost a lot of our passes, weren't really comfortable on the ball. Our first bright moment, though, Partey picked up the ball from a lost recycled ball from the middle, and then Arsenal passed through into the box with a good shot from Rice, but that was blocked. And, ultimately you would think we would recycle and try to gain some momentum to build something back, but that wasn't it. Then the biggest play of the game, 57th minute, Garnacho running on the open acres of space, which he left Ben White in the dust into the box, and then Saliba with a pinpoint stop on the ball. I mean, disarming Garnacho from a chance to shoot. Ooh, that was Terminator-esque defending. Like, any slight chance of miss movement, that would have been a clear penalty. Still, 1-0, my throat dry, my heartbeat off the charts. I mean, how about you? It just was tough. It looked like our playing style suited Man U, making them look superior. Ew. I mean, they surely had the crowd giving them the energy to keep them on, to pressure us as much as they did, and it was effective. We couldn't get out of our own half. Every clearance, every chance we had quickly came right back into us to defend. We were in for it. A lot of suffering. Only small bursts of forward play from Arsenal, and we had to do something. That called for a change. We defended a lot. We had no answers to kind of counter the way they were playing us for at least a chance to show our attack. We had in little bursts. In comes Martinelli for Trossard. We needed to take away the pressure, but that hadn't happened just yet. But hopefully that was the idea. And then another bad pass from Ben White. We were definitely cut out. Thankfully, it was a weak shot at Raya, who just did his thing as collector's item. Then we continued with the suffering for sure. It was just shocking. Painful plays from Arsenal. Couldn't really believe it. I was really in disbelief here. Then a positive from Arsenal, Martinelli driving into the box, as we know he is really good at. And then with a shot, but too many touches for my liking. But again, he was defended, very well. So I guess that's just what he was left with. And then as the play went on, Saka went off with some injury off the field. I hope it wasn't that bad because we need him for this last game. And that was where we started showing our might in giving Onana some work to do with a few more shots his way and some defending. And we had a chance from a corner that really would have gone to the net, but he had to do his own work. At this point, a few minutes to 90, we were still defending as if we were one man down. What a huge difference it made with some changes, especially with Jesus making some link-up plays with Odegaard to connect with Rice in the box. But Jesus was behind the pullback pass coming into him for a tap-in, but that chance was gone. Well, at least we still had that 1-0 lead to defend. And with minutes after 90, we went into lockdown mode. In comes Kivior and Jorginho for the game. Oh, my heart could not manage at this point. Every dying minutes, every single play, this was scrambled from the middle and let nothing happen. I mean, this was license for every player to just snatch a yellow for something, but not necessarily cause like a free kick. We held on for dear life, and sure we did. And that was it. Freaking 1-0, 3 points. I mean, what a huge mountain this was. This Arsenal team, they did not fold. They did not stumble. They freaking dug deep. This one goal that meant it all, it was definitely all or nothing. We fought to keep this, and they did the business. Big ups to the players. 1-0 is what we are branded for. 1-0 is what we normally know. But in this time of this season, in this moment of what we are striving for, at this particular point, especially Old Trafford, oh boy, this team. I mean, this team. What a team. Okay, straight into my top 3 Arsenal performers. First player, Saliba, defensive stud. I mean, absolute stud. If you wanted to know how good this guy is, go look at the stats for this game. First in touches, first in tackles, first in interception, first in clearances, first in duels won. I mean, simply outstanding. There's nothing much to say about more than that. And he was also a massive help to Ben White, so big credit to him there. Second player, Big Gabby. He handled his side well and defended to make it hard for any runs to come by on the left. While it was another routine defending for him, it was a lot of reactionary movements, seeing how much we got cut out, but he was there to kind of nullify a few of those and make some of their plays, redirect in some places that we had the wall waiting for them. It was really great. Third and final player, Havertz. I picked him because he created that massive hold-up play and the pass for Trossard that led to the goal. I mean, we're all smiling and so happy for the 3 points, and it was all Havertz and having the ability to wait and hold up for Trossard to come in and finish it off. So he was effective with the little chances he had, but more so to that, was an absolute big play that he did for us in the first half there. And shout out to Trossard and Tomiyasu as well. They did their thing in the way they played and managed some of the threats that we had. Odd one for me today was Ben White. He was on the ropes and could not contain Garnacho on the left. That was our weakest entry point in the game, which limited our attacking plans, took away most of the combinations of what we were expecting Odegaard and Saka to do, which kind of also gets Ben White involved. There were some isolations in how the play, really went, and from a defensive standpoint, there was just a lot of work for Ben White to do. Thankfully, the team did their thing, and we were able to manage that. Extremely, extremely, extremely happy with this win. Do not get me wrong. This was another reminder that nothing is what it seems on paper. With Man U missing two of their main key players in Bruno and Rashford, you would think we're going to smash them into bits and play with so much ease, much later in the game. And look at how it turned out. We defended with all our breath, body, and we just held on to just one goal. I mean, even looking back, that the second chance for a goal or where it would have come and how that would have happened, there weren't that much. So this was huge, really huge, and it was a big win indeed. And now we wait for the last one. That's where we are right now, folks. All right, fingers crossed and prayers up. I'll leave it here for now. Talk soon. Take care.